Welcome everybody to another Wednesday wrap-up, your weekly entertainment wrap-up brought to you by Borderline Entertainment right here on twitch.tv/Borderline Entertainment every Wednesday. Now, if you find that you're watching this on YouTube, that means that you're catching it a few days later. And with that, you're missing out on a lot. So, thank you for the view, but make sure that you check it out on Twitch because, again, it's live and you get to be a part of the conversation. So tonight I am joined by Will.
Excited to be back here as always. Just another fantastic week. A lot of great news that we're bringing to the forefront tonight. And we're excited to have another special guest with us, which I'm really excited to gain his perspectives and hear what he has to say. So I'd like to introduce Nate Pressler.
Hey everyone, I'm super excited. I've been creeping through the comments recently, so I'm excited to kind of finally make that plunge into being on the show. So I know we've had some exciting stuff happen, and it's going to be a really interesting show.
Tonight's show is brought to you by BLE Merch. If you find that your closet just doesn't look the way that it should, we have just the thing for you. Super comfy, super cozy, super chic, super casual shirts for sale. Only $20, and this BLE logo shirt could be yours. So don't waste time. Please send us a message on any of our social platforms and order your shirt today before they're gone. This is, again, a weekly entertainment show where we go over the latest and greatest in entertainment news. We take 4 standout stories and we give them to you in a more digestible piece. With that said, we're going to kick things off with the best in entertainment news, our Apple of the Week, and that goes to Nintendo. Now, Will, we've had our go-arounds with Nintendo, and we know how you feel. So, do you want to say something and forever hold your peace and let Nate and I kick it off? Or what do you want to do?
I think that will be best. I will sit back and enjoy because you know what? I'm really excited to have Nate on here. So I just would be more than happy to hear his perspective. So Nate, kick it off, man. Here we go, because I am not the Nintendo guy.
Oh, why wouldn't it get the Apple of the Week? We had Super Mario Maker 2. We had a brief update on Bayonetta, which was more of like a tease for what we thought was going to be a gameplay trailer, but it wasn't. Also, let's talk about the very end, the finale, if you will. Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening.
I just got chills.
Redone in the cutest way possible. I cannot get over it. It's like watching the most adorable little version of one of my favorite games in HD.
There were so many ups and downs for me personally with the Nintendo Direct tonight. Yes, it is deserving of the Apple because there was so much good news that came from this Direct. However, there was a lot that I felt was missing. And before I let you take it off, we have Weaver0924 saying, "What's good in the chat? Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. And let us know your thoughts too while we keep talking along." Nate, take it away.
It was a whole roller coaster. We started out with a really interesting surprise with that Super Mario Maker. I didn't know that they were going to actually go bold and do that because it was so dependent on the touchscreen of the Wii U pad.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what they're going to do just because the Switch is great at handheld, but it also is great at being a console where we saw with Toad Treasure Tracker when it was released this last summer. The motion control in terms of like the quote unquote touch just didn't really do it for me. Mm-hmm. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do with that. But it was seriously, we had a Super Smash Brothers update, a little more of a tease with Joker from the Persona series, which I know you've said before I need to get on. And
yes.
We had new update to that Toad Treasure Tracker, so now you can play couch co-op with someone. There's going to be a new paid DLC for that, which is super exciting. They went into Fire Emblem and then followed up with some kind of, I would say, lackluster things that really did lead into Mortal Kombat Assassin's Creed 3, and then also a surprise announcement from Platinum Games with the Astral Chain, which was really cool. So what did you think? What do you think was missing? I know the big elephant in the room is Metroid Prime 4, which we kind of knew wasn't going to be in it, but I thought just based on all the reports that we were going to get Metroid Prime Trilogy, and that just was nowhere to be seen.
I don't want to pick it apart too much because this is, again, the best news. So I'll start off with the things that were absent that kind of bummed me out. So, of course, like you said, there was no Metroid. There was no news about Animal Crossing, Town, Pokemon. There was a lot that I thought we were going to hear about, and we didn't hear about anything, not even a tease. And so that kind of bummed me out. I think they did what Nintendo loves to do, and that's like the dangling the treat over here, and then meanwhile they're like, hey, guess what? We didn't do this stuff. Because there was a lot of good news to be had.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to sound ungrateful about Super Mario Maker 2, but I also have reservations. When I saw it, I thought that it was Super Mario Maker Deluxe. It didn't seem like 2. And I'm hoping that as time goes on and we see more about the game, that hopefully, and I realize that this is completely far-fetched and will never happen, but give us maybe some of the 3D land aspects to create a game in.
I will say the cat suits, though, that does make me think there is a little bit of that Super Mario 3D world in there.
Okay.
A little bit of that spice. And I think that that's going to be something that they are going to feature at E3 2019, even if it's just a little bit. But you're absolutely right, though. Like, for all the things that were absent, Nintendo really made you feel like they still had a great show for 2019.
Oh, yeah.
To be completely honest, the entire cinematic for the Zelda game, I was like, what are we getting? What are we getting? What are we getting? Once I figured out it was Zelda, I was like, okay, so what is the art style going to look like? And I had maybe it'll look kind of like Studio Ghibli, maybe it'll look like something else. And then here we were with this like beautiful, almost like similar to kind of like Pikmin and maybe even like Yoshi's Crafted World.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more like play toy box, but still it looks great. Like I'm super excited about that. So they really know how to save the best for last. It's going to be great, but then it's also going to pave the way and maybe soften the blow of maybe like a 4 or 5 lead time for the next Breath of the Wild. So
right.
I think we're going to see a lot more of that. I mean, whether it's like a link between worlds, Minish Cap, even something kind of HD that way, I think we're going to start seeing more of those, kind of like almost like a side spin-off game, if you will.
I could see them saying, let's try this out. It's a beloved IP. This way, we're not coming out with something new and everybody's mad that it's not Breath of the Wild 2, if that makes sense. So I think it is a smart move for them, and I am excited. I'm gonna play it. I'm not griping. I apologize. Talking about some of the oddball games that were out there, Deltarune. I was not expecting that. But I was really excited to see that you could play like the first chapter for free today.
Oh yeah, they did that a lot today. It was a lot of, hey, we're gonna do this really exciting thing. By the way, the update's ready later. The demo's gonna be ready later. Yoshi's Crafted World, we're getting the demo today. One thing I want to say about IPs that I didn't think we were ever going to see on the Switch, just because of mature content, not only Mortal Kombat, but Hellblade.
Yes.
The Sacrifice, that's something that I've wanted to play, and I said, I'm going to hold out. It has to come to the Switch. It has to come to the Switch. So now that it's on the Switch, I'm really excited to do that. Indie games have been doing a really good job with bringing attention to mental health disorders with Squest and Gris at the same time. And so I'm excited to see something a little bit more mature tackle that subject on a handheld that's been more kid-friendly.
Right.
Will we be seeing you hop on the Switch train with the Switch 2.0?
I'd like to say yes. I really would. I'd like to say yes, but realistically, I got a few things I'd like to focus on. At some point, I would like to get on that, but we'll see what the future holds. I'm not saying no.
Well, that is our Apple of the Week. Congratulations again to Nintendo. Thank you so much for having your Nintendo Direct and giving us so many goodies. But as we say on Wednesday Wrap-Up, not all news is good news. And that brings us to our Onion of the Week, the worst story in entertainment news. It goes to the Aladdin trailer. It was no bueno. I did not like it. Well, I know you are itching to talk about this.
I think the biggest thing that people are wanting to address is the odd decisions that they made with Will Smith as the genie, the CGI. Let's look at this on a larger scale here. So, people are going to be continually complaining about the live action remakes of Disney. I think that Disney is doing something that is catering to a new audience. They have to, right? That is something that's inevitable. And we've also come a long way with digital advances for them to be able to do so. So there's a lot of cool things that they're able to do. For those of us that grew up on the classics, it's hard for us to, for the nostalgia point of view, to pull ourselves away from that. And we're naturally going to make comparisons. The movie's basically shot. It's done, right?
Right.
So when it comes to the blue CGI, it doesn't necessarily creep me out, but I think it could have been an interesting take. There was a lot of backlash about people seeing Genie not in the blue CGI when they first came out with I think it was Entertainment Weekly, the cover that they had.
Yeah.
There was backlash on that. Now there's backlash with people seeing him, CGI blue actual Genie. I think it would have been more of an interesting take for them to have him just be Will Smith himself without the blue CGI, and maybe have made a comment like, "Oh, were you expecting me to be blue?" Something along those lines.
I just think that Disney is terrible at what they do sometimes. We got a genie that wasn't blue. People got mad, so they made him blue. In Wreck-It Ralph 2, they decided to make Princess Tiana not look like Princess Tiana. And then the actress, was like, "What did you do?" And then they had to digitally fix it so she looked more like her character. Mulan was all about having someone from England come save her in the live action script that was leaked. And so I'm just like, what else can Disney do that we're just going to backlash and then have them change immediately?
Yeah. We have to remember that they were made in a time where content that they made then wouldn't fly now.
Exactly.
Because
they could not make Aladdin today as it was back then.
We'll continue on with your tirade, please.
So, next point. I'm also someone that loves a good villain. But, with Jafar in Aladdin is supposed to be like 50 years old, right? He's meant to be creepy, maniacal.
Fu Manchu.
It's like you looked at Jafar and it's just like, how did no one else think that this guy was evil by any means?
Evil dude.
He has a wizard staff. Like, come on, people. Let's go. Let's figure this out here. And I don't know if anyone caught the voice of Jafar, the actor that is playing Jafar. For those that have baby ears, I'm sorry. He sounds like a little opinion. Like, just...
Yeah, he's sexy.
And the voice that he had, again, not a knock to the actor. I just think maybe a miscasting on Disney's behalf. But like, he was almost talking to Aladdin going into the cave. Like I was almost picturing Will Ferrell in the hot tub skit at the Welshly Arms from SNL. Like that's what I was envisioning. Like, oh yes, Aladdin. Welcome to the Welshly Arms. Get out of here, dude. If anyone else noticed this, Jafar is in disguise as the man that he had met in the prison.
Yeah.
In the trailer, it's just Jafar and Iago, like, chilling, just telling Aladdin, like, hey, go get the treasure. I'm not evil. Trust me. Like, there was no trickery. There was no, like, Jafar was, like, dressed up by any chance, because that's a huge thing. He goes in the cave. He gives the treasure. He barely makes it out of there. And then Jafar tries to kill him, and then he has no clue that was Jafar to begin with. What does that mean for the rest of the movie?
But let me say, congratulations, Disney, and the upcoming Aladdin movie. You get the Onion of the Week, the worst news story in entertainment news. That brings us to the Banana of the Week, the funniest news story in entertainment news. And congratulations, that goes to Marvel Entertainment and their future nonsense plans. I love Daniel Radcliffe. He is a tremendous actor. I loved Swiss Army Man. It was great. Harry Potter, one of my favorites. But the idea of him as Wolverine, unless they just pumped his blood full of the stuff that Bane used to make himself huge, there's no way that he could physically look like Wolverine, even a young Wolverine. It doesn't work.
So I saw this news, and Asa, I immediately went over to your desk and I said, we have to talk about this. This is ridiculous.
You didn't give me a choice. You kind of bullied me, but yes.
Yeah, I did, because it's going to be difficult for that actor to step into those shoes, no matter who they choose.
Right.
But Daniel Radcliffe, that dude could work out and eat and just get as yoked as possible. It's still will never be Wolverine to me. I can't think of someone so far not Wolverine than Daniel Radcliffe.
Wolver Potter is what I'm calling him.
Don't even do it. Don't even do it.
Hashtag Wolver Potter. And so that was just the tip of the iceberg of the hilarity of Marvel in the news this past week. So Netflix and Marvel had a partnership, and they produced amazing shows. Those were canceled, and we knew that it was going to be because Disney Plus is coming up. They're going to have their own streaming service. They're putting their own content out there. Okay, that makes sense. Then for some reason this week, they announced a partnership with Hulu, where they're not only continuing they have another show, The Runaways, that's on there, but they are bringing new shows. So they're bringing MODOK, Tigra and Dazzler, and then they have Howard the Duck.
Who cares?
And so if anything, again, why not put it on Disney Plus? They're like, at this point, we don't care. You get a show. And you get a show. That's literally what I feel like Marvel's doing at this point. And then there was all this stuff, like, what was it, 2 weeks ago? And they're like, hey, X-Men, we're going to put a hold on everything. So, hey, Marvel, you do you.
I mean, everyone mourned the loss of Daredevil, only to like 6 months later find out that it's going to come back after the negotiations go through. I'm still salty about Agent Carter getting canceled after season 2.
Ooh,
so like,
yeah,
at this point, like, resurrect them all.
Yeah, this was another interesting move that I really don't understand, or do I think a number of other people understand.
Runaways, though, I will say is a surprise hit. I went into it thinking this is going to be kind of tacky, and it was great. Mm-hmm. So, good for you, Hulu.
Rock on! Because what else do we say to this? It's Marvel, you're a bunch of jokesters. We see you. So congratulations again to Marvel Entertainment. You get the banana of the week, the funniest news story in entertainment news. And that brings us to our muffin of the week, our favorite, all of our favorite news story in entertainment news this week. BTS! Boom! They're back. Who? Oh, you know exactly who.
I know who.
A lot of people watched an event this weekend. I think it's called the Grammys, only the biggest night in music. At the Grammys were some beautiful boys known as BTS. Not only were they there and their presence was known, but they were breaking history. They were breaking records. They're making history because they were the first K-pop group ever to be at the Grammys. But let me just say this, because I know I have some not fully formed believers on the show with me right now. Here's the deal. When the Grammys was going on, there was live chats everywhere from wherever the Grammys was streaming. And hands down, the number one topic that all of the fans watching, they were just filling the chat. So their fans, amongst all of the chatter for the Grammys, they just took over everything. The conversation completely was BTS. Not only were they hinting towards future projects or maybe a future tour, I don't know, because they were teasing hard, saying that we'll be back. We'll be back soon. You'll see us very soon. Had me freaked out. Had my wife slamming on the ground, staring at the TV, screaming.
Oh man.
It just kept building, and the Grammys was on Sunday, and the news just keeps building with this. So I don't know if you guys know who Dolly Parton is.
Of course I know who Dolly Parton is. I watched Hannah Montana like the rest of you.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going crazy and that you guys have seen, or that you know who Dolly Parton is. She had a whole thing at the Grammys. She was singing her songs. She had people out there. So she sang Jolene with Hannah Montana, or Miley Cyrus. Best of both worlds. Who knows? They just wear a different colored wig. I don't know who's who.
It's actually an Olsen twin. They're actually triplets.
During the show, like, the camera is panning, like, watching everybody singing along. And BTS, they're getting it. But anyways, Dolly Parton, she saw that footage. And she's like, well, I guess I know who I'm doing another rendition of Jolene with, or something like that. But Dolly Parton recognized BTS as like, okay, you guys are a mainstay. I know that you are the next big thing. I think you should do a song with me. How can that not be our collective favorite?
If our Lord and Savior Dolly Parton deems it to be so, I'm here for it.
But who hasn't she done some sort of, she's worked with everyone, right? She's worked with everyone.
That's a good thing.
I know that the genre is taking off. I know that they're seeing massive success, and I don't want to, take away from that. It is just a fad that will disappear as fast as it came. I think it's great for the overall genre, but at the same time, I think it's going to come and go. I really do. And then everyone will move on. And then everyone will find the next whatever boy band is going to be popular at the time. So you can go ahead and fight me on that. But listen,
I have to give focus to the chat really quick. There are some stats that in all caps are being put in here. BTS paved the way for Korean artists in America. They broke 27 awards, 20 in the span of 6 months. They won 85 different awards. They won the Medal of Cultural Merit. They toured in 9 countries with over 925,000 attendees. They spoke at the UN. I actually saw that speech. It was phenomenal. And now the hashtag is trending. Don't let Will talk anymore. Congratulations, BTS. You again for the second time. Well, the first time was technically with Jimin. But all of BTS, you get the muffin of the week, our favorite news story in entertainment news. Will, do you want to give us a recap of our award winners this week?
Absolutely. So, award winners this week, the Apple of the week, Nintendo. The Onion of the week goes to the Aladdin trailer. The Banana of the week goes to Marvel/Disney. And then finally, the Muffin of the week.
Say it.
Goes again to BTS.
Yeah! With that, what are we doing this weekend? Let's do our weekend wrap up. Let us know in the comments below what you're going to be doing. Nate, what are you doing this weekend and where can people find you?
So I'm going to be kind of doing a little bit of car shopping. I have some demos obviously now to play on the Nintendo Switch, which I'm super excited about. And then I'm also going to try to rock climb because why not try to be like Lara Croft? And you can find me at Arbuthnotty on Twitter and Instagram.
And Mr. Will Evans.
All right. You can find me on Instagram as well as Twitter. Instagram handle WEV4NS24. And then Twitter WEV4NS44. So you can check me out both on Instagram and Twitter. Certainly an Instagram guy. This weekend, I'm powering through it, but I'm trying to get through Kingdom Hearts. Recently found out that there's a secret ending if you collect all the lucky emblems. So I just want to do that so I can get the secret ending. Really about it, nothing too exciting. But Asa, what are you doing this weekend?
Funny you ask. This weekend is going to be jam-packed. Going to be spending some quality family time, of course, hitting up all of the Switch stuff that's hitting today. And then, of course, working on Borderline stuff because the work never ends. And then if you want to find me, you can find me at @greenriver07, both on Instagram and Twitter. More importantly, if you want to connect with us like we would love to connect with you, please go to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Search Borderline Entertainment. Give us a like, comment, follow, or subscribe. All the above. Get all of those wonderful goodies. We have a lot going on, and we would love for you to be a part of the community. But for Nate and Will, I'm Asa. Be well, Borderline fans.